Hey everyone, it's Kothis, and we are quickly approaching the end of the season. This final 4 weeks is a great time to get caught up on stuff you've either been putting off or haven't gotten to yet. Yes, I know it's been kind of a drag these last few weeks, really this whole season, but hopefully this video will give you some motivation to get some stuff done. In this video, I'd like to cover a few ways in how you can maximize your time to prepare for the final season and the Year of the Witch Queen. And I'll do my best to order everything on this list from most important to least important so you can easily decide what you want to get done. And I'll include chapters in the video too, so you can kind of skip around to whatever section you want. If you still have questions after watching this video, please leave me a comment or feel free to join up on the community Discord. It's a great place to hang out. So with all that being said, let's get right into it. First up, let's cover the expiring stuff. What stuff will be unobtainable once the season ends? Well, thankfully, not too much. You've got the battle pass to help get you extra materials, cool ornaments for transmog, and a unique exotic fusion, the Delicate Tomb. You also have seasonal challenges that will help you get XP to help you not only level up your battle pass, but also get you good amounts of bright dust for all the new stuff coming next season. There's usually some pretty nice things in the shop for the dawning during December, with a full ornament transmog set setting you back 6,000 bright dust. So make sure to save up if you want to pick up some of this stuff during the dawning. The last item on the expiring checklist is your seal gilding. Not everyone is going to want to go for these, and that's totally fine, but if you're really close to either finishing your seal or gilding it, you can get a lot done with the 4 weeks we have left, and some seals can be done with just a few days of dedication to it. Let's move on to the important tier. These are things that you'll definitely want to get done to make your life a lot easier once the new season drops. First, clear out the trash in your vault. I did just come out with a vault cleaning guide, so check that out if you want to see my vault cleaning process. We'll be getting tons of new stuff this next season, especially with a brand new dungeon and reprised deepstone weapons coming out alongside it. Try to get to 400 or less items if you can. I know it's hard, but you can do it. Alright, let's talk power level. I know this is a grind, it's not very fun, and I know it's a lot easier if you can raid or run dungeons, but you absolutely can get to 1580 without doing any of these things. Just run your Pinnacle weekly Vanguard strikes, Crucible matches, Gambit, Preservation mission, all that stuff. Again, you can join up on the Discord. We've helped some people through this stuff already, and the community is growing. Either way, just run your Powerfuls and Pinnacles to get yourself up to 1580 so you aren't behind next season. Also, try to get all of the seasonal stuff done as well. Get your quest line done. I know it's a bit slow at times, but you can work your way through it and clear it out. And that goes for previous seasonal quests too, as long as you have access to those seasons and you haven't cleared them out yet. So think all the Psyops, Nightmare Containment, Sever stuff, all of it. And while you're doing all of this, you will also be getting that season's unique red borders to work your way toward unlocking all of that season's weapon patterns. It's a good way to knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. The less quests you have clogging up your quest library, the less you'll have to worry about next season. To me, it's just nice to focus on the new season's activities if possible and not get backlogged with so much extra stuff from previous seasons, so during this slow point, get all that stuff done. Exotic armor is also crucial to getting a good build going. Grind out some lost sectors to either get missing exotics that you still need or to get better stat rolls on what you currently have. And speaking of builds, go make some in Destiny Item Manager. It's so easy to get mods situated exactly how you like them, and it just takes 1 click for everything to apply. Having builds ready to go for the new season and new content saves you so much time, and it lets you get straight into playing the new content instead of spending time tinkering with mods. And the last thing on the important checklist, I'm going to put familiarizing yourself with the Deepstone Crypt's mechanics. All of the weapons are getting reprised with new perks, and more importantly, they will all be craftable, so you'll be able to get enhanced perks on all this stuff. Some of these weapon combos they've mentioned sound really good. I've got my eye on the Incandescent Trustee and a Rampage Volt Shot Posterity. There's a new Bray Inheritance origin trait on the weapons too. We aren't sure what it does yet, but it is going to set this apart from the current rolls that you've got now. Alright, let's move on to some exotic weapons that you want to try and get. I wasn't really sure what tier to put this in, so we're just going to make it its own tier. If you've got the 30th anniversary bundle, get your Galahorn. I know it's obvious, but it's so good in so much content, and it's really not difficult to get. Find a couple people to run Grasp of Avarice and get your Galahorn. You can also grab Wishender from the Shattered Throne dungeon as well. It's become a great anti-barrier weapon for me this season with how it uses primary ammo as opposed to the Arbalest special ammo, which, speaking of Arbalest, you should also get that too. You definitely want Arbalest in your arsenal. With its catalyst, it can shred barrier champions. It is really good. Xenophage is another good heavy weapon to have in multiple raid encounters. Also, you can grind some Dares of Eternity to get your Forerunner. It's great in PvP right now, maybe too great. Keep in mind, while you're grinding out rep for Forerunner, you'll also be getting treasure keys to use to help get you more red border dares weapons. Maximizing your time in each activity is huge, so the more that you can knock out at once, the better. That's it for the exotics. Anything else that you guys would recommend? Let me know down in the comments. Let's move on to the mildly important tier. You're at 1580 power, good. Now it's time to get some other weapons up to 1580 as well. Get your Taipan and any other damage type linear fusion rifles up to 1580 as well. Scout rifles and pulse rifles are usually anti-champion mods in every seasonal artifact, so try to get one of each damage type with traits you like up to 1580. It's never a good feeling being in a raid, dungeon, or nightfall and not having certain weapon types ready to go immediately. The more you have at your disposal, the more helpful you will be to your team. And kind of continuing on with the weapon stuff, weapon patterns. Get your red borders for the solid weapons first, then work on the others if you want to. A couple recommendations from me off the bat. From this season, you've got Tarnished Metal with Demolitionist and Volt Shot as the star of the show in my opinion. Some of the King's Fall weapons are really good too. Doom of Chelchis with Explosive Payload 1 for All being my personal favorite from that group. Last season had the Austringer Hand Cannon and Beloved Sniper for PvP, both really good. If you don't have a Callus mini tool crafted yet with Incandescent, what are you even doing? And going back to the 30th anniversary bundle, get your The Other Half sword with Eager Edge. You only need one pattern for this, and they buff the drop rate for the other half a lot. The BXR Battler with Demolitionist and Incandescent is another great pick here too. If you can run Valve the Disciple, make sure to get your Forbearance. It's crazy with Chain Reaction and Unrelenting. Those are my main crafted weapons. What weapons do you like that are craftable? Moving on, if you've got Beyond Light, Stasis Fragments. These are a massive annoyance, I know, but try to visit the Exo Stranger every week and knock out these quests. You can grab her quests and work towards unlocking each fragment, and keep in mind you'll be unlocking them for every class, which is really nice. And that goes for the rest of the fragments and grenades that you can pick up from Ikora for all the light subclasses. These will set you back a lot of glimmer, but it's best to do this now in the slow point of the season. I'd also try to run some dungeons too if you're coming back after a long break. The new dungeon next season is releasing on December 9th, so getting used to running dungeon level difficulty with dungeon mechanics will make it less stressful on you when you try to get your first new dungeon clear. Alright, let's move on to some low priority stuff. Do you have everything done before this and still aren't sure what to do? Start a new character if you've only got 1 or 2 classes. Having all 3 sounds like a ton of work, but in reality, you probably won't be playing all 3 characters equally, and that's totally fine. Getting an alt character up to max power doesn't take too long after you already have a character at max power, and it's just another way to become more helpful to friends in LFG groups. If you have the ability to run any class that's needed in a group, you'll prove yourself to be a great asset. If I get into an LFG and they need a Well of Radiance Warlock, great, I've got him covered. I need an Arc Titan with Storm Grenades, good to go. Omnioculus Void Hunter, I've got it. This isn't necessary, and it's totally fine if you don't want to do this, but it is nice to be someone who could be a jack of all trades and not just a one-trick pony. Plus, it is fun to shake things up and try out a new gameplay style every now and then. Catalysts. Assuming you've got all of your main catalysts done, try to grind out any unfinished ones in your arsenal. You can check your progress towards each catalyst and where each one drops in the Patterns and Catalyst section of the Triumphs tab. Bungie is adjusting 27 exotics next season, some buffs, some nerfs, so having everything ready to go right away will be nice. If you're still looking for more to do, congratulations, you are an overachiever. This whole category really comes down to material and XP preparation. Let's start with materials, Ascendant Shards and Enhancement Prisms. If you've got 3 characters, you want to work on filling up not only your inventory, but also your Postmaster with these. You can stack 10 Ascendant Shards and 50 Enhancement Prisms in each Postmaster. Grandmasters will flood you with both of these, but filling up your Postmaster completely on all 3 characters can take a lot of work. It does make it nice though to have a big stash ready for maxing exotics and other armor whenever you want. If every Postmaster is full and you're still getting Ascendant Shards that you don't know what to do with, you can go really crazy with it by masterworking random exotics and saving them in your vault. When you dismantle this exotic, you'll only get 1 Ascendant Shard back, but it's better to store your extra shards this way instead of losing them by running Grandmasters if you're full. Ascendant Alloy next. These are super rare, but are very valuable in getting you enhanced traits on your crafted weapons. Run your Master Catch Crash, Nightmare Containment, Master Wellspring, and other activities that drop these. You can store a maximum of 10, so if you can get to 10, it'll be nice to be able to instantly get enhanced traits on all the new craftable weapons. And to craft weapons, you'll also need resonant elements. You can cap out at 10,000, which is obviously where you want to be when you start the season, but you can store extra in your vault by completing a deep sight weapon but not extracting it. I'm personally shooting for having 20 to 30 of these ready to go by season start. If you're a completionist, you could try to unlock every weapon pattern and get enhanced traits on every one of them. This is an absolute mountain of a task, but it is technically something you can work towards. And this goes for triumphs as well. There are many triumphs in the game that can just be done while doing pretty much anything. So try to pick out a few that you want to knock out and work towards them. This doesn't really get you anything other than higher triumph score, but I'm a big checklist guy and I always like to feel like I'm progressing something, so this is something I like to do. Bounty prep is next. If you want to get a nice head start on next season's battle pass and artifact, you will want to do this. I'd recommend not going over 60 bounties per character because that's really close to max, and prioritizing weekly bounties over daily bounties is best. Weekly bounties will give you much more XP than daily bounties, so the more XP we can fit per bounty slot, the better. I'm usually able to get my battle pass to level 20 to 22 and artifact to level 11 to 12-ish moments after I log into the new season. It's a really nice free boost. And you can also check Destiny recipes to see how much stored XP you have. And lastly, exotic stacking. If your engrams are full on your character, you can actually stack exotic engrams in your postmaster. You can do these by just finding exotics out in the wild or grinding lost sectors. If you wait until the new season pass comes out when all the new exotic armor comes out, and wait till a day that's dropping whatever the new exotic armor piece is, you'll actually instantly be able to get that new exotic and more roll options for the ones you already have with the other ones that you open. Whew, alright, I know that was a lot of info. Thank you so much for making it this far, and I hope you're able to prep for next season as we get ready for Lightfall. I really hope to see you all in the Discord. Make sure you use the link in the description to join. Thank you so much, everyone. I will see you in the next video.